All right, everyone, we're going to get started. I know we're running a little late. I appreciate you all for taking time out of your day to come today. I know it's a Friday. I know it's raining. I know these are work hours. We've been doing collectively a lot of work in our silos. But now's the time to come together. I'm going to step down from the ring. So you may, if you're taller, be able to see me. If you're shorter, come to the front so you can see me. But otherwise, the fact is, what brings us here today is that we're all seeing, what's going on in our communities, and something inside of us is not sitting right. So for anyone who is listening to this, either the Instagram live stream or listening to the recording after, my name is Daniel Muñoz. Everyone here knows that, but if you're not, you may not know that. I grew up in Central Falls. I know the visceral pain that one feels in one's belly when you're hungry. I understand the pain in one's heart when you feel someone struggling with addiction or under the persecution of police brutality. And I know the struggle in one's mind and the pain in one's mind when you try to rationalize and apologize for what you're witnessing. And it's all of those things that push me in life and push everyone here in life to push the boundaries, to break the ceilings, to put ourselves in positions that can affect change. I thought medicine was that, and I went on to become a medical doctor. There are doctors here, there are people in law school here, there are people running organizations, there are people who have risen up as artists in entertainment, in professional fighting. All of us trying to focus the energy and the experiences that we have, whether it's at the tips of our knuckles, on the edge of our lyrics. But it's not enough that we continue to work independently. It's not enough that we create another organization doing one little thing slightly differently and not coming together as a collective to affect programmatic change. My brother Eugene Montero taught me about this indigenous belief system. And it focused on 7 generations. And the idea was, is the work that we're doing today, are what we're doing today, the things that we're doing today, going to be something that exists 7 generations from now? Will children 7 generations from now benefit from the work you're doing today? How many of us can say that? In medicine, there's this thing called epigenetics, and I'm going to throw it out there because I want you all to know that the concept that our ancestors had for 7 generations is actually something that is in our bones, it is in our DNA. There's a truth to it. A generation that goes starving has children and they have children. And 2 generations later, the people who descended from those who starved adapt their bodies in ways to survive with less. The same is true for generations that have been persecuted, generations that have suffered under police brutality, under the scarcity of resources from food to housing to healthcare. If we wait another day for another generation to be born, we are 2 generations behind from change. And that's what today's about. Today's about taking a step, not waiting a minute longer, to transform our public safety systems, to stop police brutality, to hold police accountable, to invest in affordable housing and low-income housing, to stop calling our neighborhoods the hood and to start calling them communities with potential, to invest in our youth, in programs that lift them out of poverty and break them out of cycles and mindsets that imprison them to this idea that is forced on us consistently, that we don't have a place in the future, that we are risky, that we are dangerous. We are not. I am here with an entire community of educators, artists, business people who have been fighting for change, who are representative of change, but we are not the exception. We are not the exception. There are more out there with that same potential. Just today, full circle, I received an endorsement by a national organization called Future Generations Political Action Committee, who believes in that as well, in the need to invest in future generations. I'm not going to take up more space today at this point in the discussion. What I want to do is I want to invite our speakers here today, our leaders here today, to personalize what their lived experience has been, to talk about how their journeys and their values manifested from that experience, and to call to action the things that they know, that we know we need as a community.